gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We say hello from Buzzards Bay at Commodore Hendy Field at the Massachusetts Maritime Academy.
Ceremonial first pitch. Tonight, the ceremonial first pitch thrown out by the athletic director of the Massachusetts Maritime Academy and the head baseball coach of Mass Maritime, Mr. Mike Kelly.
Beautiful evening in New England. Alongside Aiden Blank, Jack Hunter with you. Aiden, a great change of scenery tonight. What a beauty.
Yeah, look at that amazing picture from WCTV. We're very happy to have them here. We're very happy to have everybody here. This is just a tremendous venue. It was
Central Railroad train
it's been
master
used over the
and
years by
Wareham game
Cleveland
fan. Mike,
teams.
it's your
Good to
pitch.
have a game back.
First pitch is being thrown. I guess we got
Another
two
strike three.
tonight. The Commodores 16, 15, and 2. Wareham coming in 11, 19, and 2. Having a difficult month of July, but with 12 games left, the team trying to turn things around. Riley Eichhoff gets the ball tonight. Here is how the Falmouth Commodores will line up. John Spikerman leading off, playing center field with Gavin Keelan, the all-star, playing shortstop and batting second. Travis Bazzana batting third. And playing second base with Kate Snell DHing in hitting fourth. Tyler McGregor hitting fifth. Luke Heyman, the catcher, hitting sixth. Nathan Humphreys hitting seventh with Kevin Brady hitting eighth. And Tab Tracy in the 9-hole. Spikerman, Keelan, Bazzana, Snell, McGregor, Heyman, Humphreys, Brady, and Tracy. And Aiden, how will the Gatemen line up behind Riley?
Wareham will line up with Morton, Bozer, McLean, Corey, Bobby, and Nick in the outfield left to right. Michael Brooks at third, J.C. Colon at short. Garen Caulfield back at second, Tommy Splade at first. Grant Hussey will be in the lineup as a designated hitter. Riley Eichhoff and Renee Lastris are the batteries. So not the most untraditional lineup for Wareham.
Falmouth on a roll. They are now in third place for the first time since June 13th. That was the fourth game of the season. They surpassed Bourne yesterday after defeating Harwich by a final score of 5-0. And Riley Eichhoff on the mound tonight, Aiden, started a now 5-game stretch of where the starters have pitched really well last Friday when he pitched very efficiently versus Harwich.
Yeah, he only allowed 4 earned runs over 6 innings of work. As we mentioned in the pregame show, at that point, no Gateman starter had gone 6 innings. Since then, we've seen a 6-inning performance. It was yesterday, but Eichhoff said it, and hopefully he can go 6 again tonight. Only about a week and a half left of regular season baseball, so a lot of these guys will be making their final starts of the regular season coming up.
And something else that's changed as well since Falmouth and Wareham last met on July 11th, Jeff Trundy in the Falmouth dugout got his 500th career regular season win. He joins a bunch of active managers that are above 400, but just 2 active managers, 4 in league history above 500. So congratulations to Jeff Trundy on that accomplishment. Eichhoff completing his warm-up tosses here as we're about to get set. We're gonna have a little bit of a later start this evening, just short of 6:01 Eastern time. Eichhoff winds and delivers in the first pitch. Broken bat to second. Caulfield's got it for out number 1. First pitch coming at 6 o'clock. About 55 seconds. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
Well, Eichhoff's MO is he's going to get hit a little bit. He needs a good defense behind him. And hopefully Wareham can clean things up a little. They've had some defensive miscues the last bunch of games. This is turf. There's no excuse not to have an absolutely perfect game tonight. And hopefully it'll get the Gateman defense back into shape.
Here's one of the 3 All-Stars in the lineup today for the Commodores. Gavin Keelan, first pitch hack down the left side. Corey Morton pays it a visit, but lets it drop in foul territory. Commodore Hendy Field's been around for quite some time. When the Bourne Braves entered the league in 1988, the first few seasons they played were here. The stadium looked a lot different around it. The surface was different, but it was here at Commodore Hindy Field. Eickhoff just misses the outside corner, says our home plate umpire, Joe Gravina. James Fonseca is at first. Mike Lum is the third base umpire. Gavin Keelan has played in all 4 games against the Wareham Gatemen this year. He's 6 for 16. Pitch on the outside corner for strike 2.
The biggest difference between Commodore Hendy Field and every other Cape League field would be the surface. It's turf with the exception of dirt mound.
So everybody not wearing metal except for Eickhoff, who misses low. Riley making his 4th start of the year for the Gatemen today. He's 1-1 with a 5.06 ERA, 16 innings, 9 earned runs allowed. And he puts down Keelan, takes a little off for out number 2. Well, Aiden, already a better start for Riley Eickhoff today. The first 3 batters that came to the plate versus Harwich all doubled, and Eickhoff set down 2 straight here.
Yeah, again, he's going to get hit around a little bit, but if he can, you know, get more of the swing and miss stuff, I can't imagine Ryan Smythe would be upset about that.
Here's Travis Bazzana, the Oregon State Beaver, bobbing around. First pitch to him, shot left side. As you can see in that left side, there's the ocean. Pretty, not too far away from the left field line. A good shot up there from our friends at WCTV. And our buddy Ken getting that shot for us. Bazzana, another all-star. He takes it in the dirt low. Travis is hitting .303 on the year. That's 27 for 89. He's played in 2 games against the Gatemen, 5 for 11. 2 multi-hit performances. And he sees it outside. Bazzana agrees with the call, takes it for strike 2. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes on the All-American Travis Bazzana, who hit the first cycle in the stat tracking era for the Commodores just a few short weeks ago. Eickhoff's ready. Now the 2-2. Ground ball. Oh, look at Riley leaping off the mound. He's got it. The flip to first in time. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Riley Eickhoff. And at the end of 1/2 inning of play, it's Falmouth 0 and the Gatemen coming up next on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Back at the Massachusetts Maritime Academy. It's good to be with you. Falmouth in the Road Blacks, the Gatemen in the Home Reds at the end of 1/2 inning. No score after Riley Eickhoff sets Falmouth down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Here's how the Gatemen will line up defense on the offensive side. Bobby Bozer heading leadoff with Garrett Caulfield behind him, and Tommy Splain, his teammate, hitting third. Nick McLean in the cleanup spot with Grant Hussey behind him. Renee Lastris in the 6th hole. Michael Brooks hitting 7th. Corey Morton hitting 8th. And J.C. Cologne hitting 9th once again. That is Bozer, Caulfield, Splain, McLean, Hussey, Lastris, Brooks, Morton, and Cologne. Facing the lefty, Braden Davis, who just like Eickhoff is making his 4th start for the Falmouth Commodores today. He's 0-1 with a 3.11 ERA, so a little bit unlucky there, especially considering his last start against Katuitt. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, and took the loss.
Number 6, Bobby Bozer.
And now here is Bobby Bozer leading things off for the Wareham Gatemen. He was the leadoff hitter on opening day when we talked to you, about 40 days ago. And the first pitch he sees, misses low and in, clanks back to the screen for ball 1.
And that was at Falmouth at Go Fuller Field. We will be back there for the final meeting between these 2 teams next week.
From the line, the 1-0. Fastball misses down. Braden Davis out of Sam Houston State. He's one of a few guys we've seen from Sam Houston State on this Falmouth team. He's the only one that remains from the 3 guys that come to my head. Pitch misses low.
Falmouth is still the only team Wareham has beaten away from Spillane Field. We were talking about it. We don't call this an away game. Wareham's the home team, but we can count this as games away from Spillane Field.
Pitch, skips to the plate. Bobby Bozer, the league's leader in walks, works another one that's walked 25 on the year, and it leads off the bottom of the first.
Now batting, the second baseman from Arizona, number 20, Garen Caulfield.
That'll bring up Garen Caulfield, one of the 6 Gateman All-Stars that will be going to Harwich on Saturday. Garen did not play yesterday, as Davis, the lefty, working from the stretch for the first time, and he picks back to first. Almost pulls the first baseman McGregor into right field, but McGregor saves it. 77 degrees, and it's not very humid as well. It's a nice night for baseball here on a Thursday night. Kicking a fire. Breaking ball up in the zone, called by Joe Gravino for strike 1.
And we were here, you know, a few days back. It was very windy. The conditions not great. We weren't sure what today was going to be like. Perfect night for baseball. The wind not at all a factor except for a nice little breeze that's kept us cool.
0-1. Caulfield cracks it high, deep left field. Hanging over is Humphreys at the wall, and he cannot grab it. He is in foul territory.
He caught it?
He had the distance. The dimensions here, as told to us by the Massachusetts Maritime Academy staff, 300 down the left field line, 372 to center, and 355 to right field. So you can hit some cheap ones here, center to left. Right field, you got to maybe earn it a little bit more. So a long strike for Garen. It's now 0 balls and 2 strikes. Bozer on first base. No score here in the bottom of the first. Game 33 of the year for the Wareham Gatemen. Davis set from the belt. Fires. It misses high for ball 1.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Not as much foul ground as Spillane Field. That's one of the glaringly different things about this field from Spillane. You don't have enough room to get a foul ball.
Now the 1-2. Caulfield smokes one right side, base hit. Bazzana was shaded towards the bag at second, and he had no shot. A hard hit single for Garen, and the Gatemen now have 2 runners on with nobody out.
Great piece of hitting from Garen.
Yeah, that's all right.
Infield might have to get used
The
to
first baseman from
how fast the ball
Arizona, number
travels.
28, Tommy Splain.
Some of these guys have played on turf. You know, most of them have. Some of them play in college. We were talking about Brett Wozniak, and he was saying, at home, I play on turf when I'm at High Point. So some of these guys will be a little bit better adjusted than others.
And here's Tommy Splain, the big righty, standing at 6'5", stepping in the right-handed batter's box, facing the lefty, Braden Davis. Davis in his 4th start this year. 2 runners on base. Bozer leaking out at second. Pitch, check swing, and a pitch that misses outside. The appeal to first, James Fonseca said he did swing. 0 balls and 1 strike now. Beautiful complex here, all turf that was installed in 2017. The only blemish per se is a white house that serves as the batter's eye out in center field. The ocean surrounding us to the left side of the field. Now pitch, fouled away over the Falmouth dugout, first base side. Got some houses, dead center, right center. Kind of a cozy atmosphere here. Home of the Massachusetts Maritime Buccaneers in the NCAA Division III. 0-2 pitch. Off speed, misses high to Splain. Kevin Brady at third, Gavin Keelan at short, Bazzana at second, McGregor at first, Humphrey, Spikerman, and Tracy from left to right, with Luke Heyman behind the plate for Jeff Trundy's ball club. Davis gives a look, 1-2. Outside, count even. Tommy Splain went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs the last time these 2 teams met. It was 8-6 Falmouth win. And since then, Falmouth has won 4 of their last 5 games against Eastern Division opponents. That's where they've made their money this year. Now the 2-2. Splain stays alive, a little out in head, and he pokes it foul behind us in the backstop.
So we've talked about the turf. The only other game in at least the point streak era, since the Cape League statistics were kept online, The only other turf field that's ever been used in this league was Boston College Prep, and Wareham played on it in that game.
Splain on a 7-game hitting streak, and he's awaiting the 2-2. He clubs it to right center field. Coming in is Spikerman. Oh, the two guys collide, Tracy and Spikerman, but Spikerman's the one that has the catch. Bozer tags and goes to third. He's in there safely, so 1 out now with runners on the corners.
Good piece of hitting, moves the runner up. Tommy Splain does a job even when he's not hitting, which he's done. He's on a 7-game hitting
The right
streak.
fielder from Arizona
he still
State,
does a
number
job.
15, Nick McLean.
Where do you want me, Jesse? Right
Here
now?
is Nick McLean. McLean hitting from the right side, the switch hitter against the lefty, Davis. McLean has had some extreme splits from both the left and the right side. First pitch to him, fastball high. He's hitting 167, which is 4 for 24 against left-handed pitchers.
In my show?
The 1-0. Hit well to center. Spikerman's got a beat on it pretty deep. Bozer's going to try to tag at third as Spikerman grabs it. There will be no throw to the plate. It's 1-0 Gateman in the bottom of the first thanks to a sac fly from Nick McLean on the first pitch he sees.
Great piece of hitting from Nick McLean. Again, McLean and Splain both just doing jobs.
The designated
Two guys
hitter
that are
from West Virginia,
used to
number
hitting, but,
27, Grant Hussey.
well, they didn't need to get hits to do a job.
On
Here is Grant Hussey
until you say something.
standing in from the left side.
Back to first.
Big Huss bus. Now just a runner on first.
Pitcher.
The lefty deals. Breaking ball in there for strike one on the outer half.
We were told Grant's grandmother, Anita, was the one who's sending us the Huss Bus T-shirts, which will be here next week. So we want to give a shout out to her. We were told she watches every game.
0-1. Hit left side. The third baseman Brady giving it a look. It'll go out of play. So the left side out of play, a little prettier
You want me to?
than the right. Not to say the right isn't pretty, but the left side, you got Ocean Beach access about 50 yards from us. The right side, the rest of the Massachusetts Maritime Academy campus.
Okay.
Now the 0-2 to Hussey. Fouled off at the plate. Planks on top of home plate.
Yeah. I'm not gonna touch it.
All artificial turf here except for the dirt mound. It's a pretty steep one as well. Renee Lastris is on deck, the righty, who is catching today.
Thank you.
As Hussey with the lefty-lefty matchup against Braden Davis, who threw 85 pitches last Friday night. And he comes home. Swing and a miss, strike three. A nice breaking ball gets Hussey fishing for it. But the Gatemen do strike first here in the bottom of the first thanks to a sac fly from Nick McLean. 1 run on 1 hit, 0 errors and 1 left. We go to the second, 1-0 Wareham here from Mass Maritime.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be.
Well, guys, clearly
she's
the
gone.
Wareham Gatemen are not playing on Spillane Field here at Mass Maritime. One of the biggest differences that we can see is obviously that they're playing on turf. Now, not all the players, not all baseball players in general might be a big fan of turf, but I was talking to Bobby Bozer before the game, and he said he actually loves it. He says it plays very cleanly. He has a lot of experience with it at school, so he's very comfortable out there in center field. Clearly, the rest of the Gatemen are comfortable as well with the clean hub so far we've seen this game. Guys.
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, a great surface here, and a lot of the infielders big fans of turf because you're not going to get the bad bounces that you might get otherwhere in the league.
Yeah, again, it gives Wareham a chance to have something that they've had very rarely this summer, and that's a clean defensive game. It certainly should help things out.
Is that all right? Okay. All right.
So Riley Eichhoff
I'm probably gonna keep
sending down Falmouth 1-2-3 in the top of the first. To the second we go, it's Cade Snell, Tyler McGregor, and Luke Heyman due up for the red-hot Falmouth Commodores.
Now batting, the designated hitter from Wallace Community College, number 29, Cade Snell.
Falmouth in the road blacks with the maroon Falmouth across the chest with the white outline, gray pants. Some guys, including Snell, are going with the maroon stirrups with the white sock underneath.
I was just trying to remember. All right. Thank
Eichhoff
you.
working from
Appreciate
the
it.
partial windup, kicks and fires. First pitch laced right side into right field, a base hit. Snell wastes no time. It's the first hit of the evening for the Commodores.
It's a little late to the party though.
So Cade Snell,
Want me to
the
stay on the guy
lefty,
on first?
who is going to be an all-star.
The first baseman
It's not
from
hard to see why.
Northeastern, number 33, Tyler McGregor.
Snell hitting 357. That's going to bump up after that last one. He's now 26 for 71. Here's Tyler McGregor. McGregor also a lefty out of Northeastern after spending a few years at Columbia. First pitch to him. Fly ball sent well to left field. Morton retreating to the short left field fence. He's still backing up, and he's got it up against the wall.
Did I get it?
A great grab by Corey Morton out there in left for out number 1.
Well, we were waiting for him to make his, official impact on this team, and right there, he's done it.
Once again,
The
a little
catcher
bit
from
deeper
Florida, number
out
15,
towards
Luke
left
Heyman.
center field, where he was, but down the left field line, it's only 300 feet. So McGregor tagged it well, but an out to show for it. Now here's the catcher from the right side, Luke Heyman. Heyman went 2 for 5 when these teams last met on the 11th. Eichhoff working from the stretch with Snell leading off first. First pitch, breaking ball outside for ball 1. Heyman and Renee Lastris, who's the catcher tonight for the Gatemen, teammates, or former teammates now, as Renee has decided he will be playing at UNC Charlotte next year. He also played the same position. Heyman was a member of the SEC freshman team this year. 1-0, swing and a miss with the fastball. Eichhoff only needed 73 pitches to get through 6 innings last Friday night versus Harwich. It's a good sign he's getting back to his collegiate ways. His last start he made for Coastal Carolina in the Conway Regional, 9 innings on just 98 pitches against UNCW in an elimination game. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball. This one is hit very well to left center field. Morton can't hold this one in the ballpark. It's out of here. Oh my goodness. Luke Heyman with a shot over the left center field wall.
With that home
And
run,
it is 2-1
Delmar
Falmouth.
Vacations donates another $10 to live and work Cape Cod and the Attainable
Heyman's
Housing
first
Fund in
home
support
run
of local
in a Commodore
workforce housing
uniform.
initiatives.
Well, Jack, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that will not be the last home run we see tonight. Even with the even with the small breeze that we have, there's not a ton of wind helping, but you're still getting a very, very short porch out in left field, specifically, all the way down the line, but left center field playing there as well. And well, hopefully some can go to the Gateman. That's all you can hope for if you're Ryan Smythe.
First pitch to Nathan Humphreys from the left side. It misses high. Humphreys from Dallas
The left
Baptist
fielder from Dallas
University,
Baptist, number 14, Nathan Humphreys.
Conference USA. He hit a homer against Wareham in the only time he's seen them this year, which was on July 1st. 1-0, a low strike. And in many ways, the July 1st was not only a flip of the calendar, but a flip of the season for Falmouth. They'd gone 10-5 in the month of July after going 6-10 in the month of June. And the long ball has been a big reason why. The 1-1, fastball, this one just misses low. Falmouth hit 4 home runs in the entire month of June. Calendar turns, first day of July. They're playing against Wareham at Spillane Field. They hit 3 home runs in that game alone after not having homered in 9 games. Now the 2-1. Hit hard right side, but foul. Humphreys was a little ahead of it. Humphreys, one of those 3 home runs. Another breath. Winds and deals. It's a high strike 3. Second strikeout for Riley.
Good piece of pitching, works himself back into a groove. Again, as a pitcher here, you kind of have to just assume that you're going to get tagged a little. Balls are going to be hit, balls are going to go over the fence. You just got to try and limit that as much as possible. When it happens, hope that it happens as one run and not 5.
First pitch to Brady, fouled off right side, out of play. Kevin Brady is playing in his 2nd game with the Falmouth Commodores today. Was Dorian Gonzalez's roommate last summer in the NACBL, member of the Martha's Vineyard Sharks that won their first championship. The 0-1, breaking ball, misses low. Brady just finished I'd say Hall of Fame caliber career at Wheaton College. I think he'll be in the rafters there. Hit over 400 in his last year. One of Division III's best players, headed to Merrimack next year. The 1-1 to him. Another breaking ball, this one good enough in the strike zone. 1-2 count. Falmouth has 2 runs across here in the top of the second. They lead 2-1 here at Hendy Field at the Massachusetts Maritime Academy. A special night here in the Cape League. 1-2, swing and a miss. A emergency late swing from Brady, runs dry. And at the end of 1.5, after a 2-run shot from Luke Heyman, it's 2-1 Falmouth. Stay with us here on the Gateman Baseball Network. 2-1, Falmouth on top as we go to the bottom of the second. Thanks for tuning in tonight, wherever you may be listening or watching us from. Alongside Aiden Blank, my producer Rachel Manning to my right, Jack Hunter with you.
Curry prepares students to engage
Falmouth,
in successful
a
careers
2-run home run
beyond the classroom. Explore
in
undergraduate
the top of the
programs,
second inning.
NCAA Division III athletics,
Off the bat of Luke
continuing
Heyman, the
education,
Florida Gator.
and graduate studies, including
And the
50
Gators might be
master's
grabbing that
programs
one
at
out
curry.edu.
in the ocean.
She's just your producer tonight, not mine. Do I get my own producer?
Oh yeah, Braden's your producer. He's upstairs. Renee Lastris coming to the plate. It's
The
Lastris,
catcher
Brooks,
from UNC
and
Charlotte,
Morton.
number
6,
7,
7,
Renee
and 8.
Lastris.
Let's see if the Florida Gator Renee Lastris has some power in his bat. The righty facing off against Braden Davis. Davis starting for the first time collegiately here this summer. First pitch curveball high. Has made 33 appearances over 2 years for the Sam Houston State Bearcats, but no starts. Fastball there, strike 1. So he's making his 4th one here today after his first appearance was out of the bullpen. 17 1/3 innings pitched coming into tonight. And he winds and fires. Lastris clubs one high and deep to left. This one is going to hook foul. If he straightens that one out just by any number of inches, this could be a tie game.
And you had mentioned his power. He's going to be in the home run derby. Only 1 home run so far, looking to add to that total in the next 2 games.
1-2, change up outside.
That's 4:30 on Saturday, right before the All-Star game. So Wareham will have 7 players making the trip, 6 in the game.
2-2. Lastris goes fishing at a changeup in the dirt for strike 3. Tag applied by Heyman. That's the first out. So Davis has now punched out
Kansas,
2
number 5,
gatemen
Michael
in a row.
Brooks.
And here's another righty, Michael Brooks. Brooks taps the plate wearing the blue Kansas Jayhawk cleats. Hunched over, first pitch. Thinks about swinging at a breaking ball. Doesn't. Appeal to first. Agrees with that. Brooks standing at 5'11". He's playing third base again for the Wareham Gatemen today. 1-0. Fastball, inner half, strike. Brooks starting in his 4th game. He's 3 for 13 through his first 3. The 1-1. Taking a little off, getting a swing. Good pitch by Davis.
Mass Maritime does kind of have that Cape League feel, right? You got bleachers. It feels very cozy.
Now the 1-2. Upstairs, climbs the ladder and gets a swing for strike 3.
How about 3 strikeouts in a row from Davis?
A left fielder from the University of Connecticut, number 53, Corey Morton.
And here's Corey Morton. Speaking of strikeouts, Corey looking to acclimate himself here to the Cape. He played his first game a few days back in Chatham. 0 for 4, 4 punch outs. First pitch he sees, squares bunt, pulls back for strike 1. That's not something that's expected to continue, though. Pitch, fouled away. Back to the screen. Morton hit .329 in his first full season starting for UConn. .567 slugging percentage, knocked 8 balls out of the park. Now the 0-2 to him. Fastball misses down. Davis twirling to the left side of the mound, following through. Davis winds, misses low. It's 2-1 Falmouth here in the bottom of the second. The Gatemen got 1 run in the bottom of the first off of a sac fly, some good small ball, and then a home run from Falmouth jumped them ahead. 2-2. Fastball skips to the plate, and Morton's worked a full count. Corey Morton stole 19 bases for UConn this year. Speed is one of his greatest attributes. And now the payoff pitch. Spikes to the plate again. Davis once again falling off the mound. And Corey Morton has worked himself a 2-out walk.
Yeah, well, he couldn't quite figure it out there. I mean, that ball was, you know, it's a little bit different because it's turf, but if that happens at Spillane Field, I mean, that ball doesn't even get to the circle, the batter's circle there, before it hits. You know, that kind of bounced in the green turf there, not even to the brown.
Davis now working from the stretch with Morton on first. McGregor holding him on. First pitch to Cologne misses high. So Davis struck out 3 consecutive gatemen, 1 to end the bottom of the first, 2 to start the bottom of the second, but has thrown 5 consecutive balls. Cologne, the righty, standing in, pitch. Just missing low with the fastball. As we mentioned, Davis threw 85 pitches, got through 6 innings in his last start, so he's definitely stretched out. That was 6 days ago. He delivers. Sails high. 7 consecutive balls for Braden Davis. Top of the order next with Bobby Bozer. Cologne waiting, taking ball 4 high. 2 consecutive 4-pitch walks.
The center fielder from South Florida,
Davis
number 6,
has a
Bobby
fastball
Bozer.
in the high 80s to low 90s, throws it a little more than half the time. A slider and a changeup as well. Mostly throws the slider to lefties, changeup to righties. Righty at the plate here in Bobby Bozer. With 2 runners on, first pitch to him. And there for strike 1, looked to be the changeup. Bobby is due against the Falmouth Commodores. This is his 5th game played against Falmouth this year. Coming into tonight, 0 for 17 against Falmouth. 0-1, swing and a miss, pulled the string. So Davis looking to bounce back and strike out the side. Bozer looking to tie the game, maybe even give the team the lead. It's 2-1 Falmouth in the bottom of the second here on the Gateman Baseball Network. Davis sets from the belt, gets a look to second, fires, swing and a miss, strike 3. A big fastball speeds Bozer up. That's the 4th strikeout of the short evening for Braden Davis. And at the end of 2 full innings, it's Falmouth 2, Wareham 1 here from Massachusetts Maritime Academy. Shows bunt. Gets it down, but it'll roll foul. And Tracy is about halfway down the right field line, will have to come back.
And easier to bunt here, at least if you're a newbie to the field, than it is at Spillane Field, because there are actual baselines drawn. That's something that has not happened all season for a Gateman home game.
On the contrary, though, when you have the grass surface, it gets a little thick. You can bunt it down there, it'll slow it down. The turf here, it'll just keep moving the ball. So Tracy back in. So there is positives and negatives. Check swing. Looks like he held it back. Tracy did not play yesterday in a 5-0 win. It was a team pitching effort against the struggling Harwich Mariners, the only team to have the same amount of losses as Wareham this month. Ground ball to third, Brooks up with it. To first, close play as Tracy was bolting it down the line, but it is out number 1. So Harwich only 4 wins this month. Wareham 3.
The center fielder from Oklahoma, number 17, John Spikerman.
Here's Spikerman back to the top. Just wrapped up his sophomore year at Oklahoma, hit 270. Late season push got him there. Takes a high strike.
So Jack, you'll notice we were talking to Nick McLean before the game. He showed us. He's like, I don't have any plastic cleats, or at least he didn't have them with him. I'm wearing sneakers. Now that I think about it, look at all these players wearing sneakers. Most of them are.
Spinner just misses inside, says Joe Gravina.
There's no spikes on Renee's shoes. I don't see any spikes on Spikerman's shoes. A lot of these guys are just wearing sneakers.
Ground ball, another great play off the mound by Eichhoff. Flips to first for out number 2.
And that may be for a number of different reasons. I would think mainly, a lot of them probably didn't think they would need plastic spikes wearing them over the summer. I'm sure none of them really planned to bring them. But it's an interesting little anecdote to this game. The first Cape League game in a while we've probably seen with players wearing sneakers.
Here's Keelan. The Louisville Cardinal takes ball 1 outside. Keelan's hitting .309 on the year. It's just been hitting very steadily. Really picked it up towards the end of June. He was hitting only .233 on June 28th. Now at .309, and he takes one on the outer half. Nice changeup. Keelan out in front of it. Now down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. Eichhoff freezes Keelan with the breaking ball. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Riley Eichhoff, this time here in the top of the 3rd. To the bottom we go. It's still Falmouth 2, Wareham 1 here on the Gateman Baseball Network. Good vibes here tonight at the Massachusetts Maritime Academy at Commodore Hendy Field. Garen Caulfield leading off the bottom of the 3rd for the Wareham Gatemen, who find themselves down 2-1. You're watching Gateman Baseball here on the Gateman Baseball Network. Good to have you with us. First pitch bounces off the plate. Got a little indent at the front, kicked up. Alongside Aiden Blank, Jack Hunter with you on a nice Thursday evening, July 20th, 2023. Davis entering inning number 3 of work. It's been a up and down outing for him. He's been really hot at times and then been really cold at times. And now a 3-0 count to Garen. He walked 2 batters last inning on 4 pitches apiece, but had struck out 3 consecutive batters just before that. Try not to lose Caulfield to lead off the inning. And a high strike will keep Garen back in the box. Splain and McLean to follow. And now he can go down to first. Now the 4th walk issued by Braden Davis, and it puts a runner on for Tommy Splain.
Number 28, Tommy Splain.
Garen Caulfield has reached twice tonight. First batter to do that from either team.
And it's good to get runners on ahead of the next 2 guys in the order. We saw that in the 1st. Splain moved Bozer to 3rd with a fly ball. McLean moved him in with a fly ball. And takes ball 1 upstairs. Splain now leading the team in batting average, .424. It cuts and misses. Also a .578 on base percentage. He's gotten hit twice and has walked 9 times. Only 5 punch outs. Hit well to right field coming in as Tracy had a great beat on it and snags it for the first out.
The right fielder from Arizona State, number 15, Nick McLean.
Tommy hits one hard, but to no avail, and here's Nick McLean, who had a very productive first trip to the plate. As we mentioned to you, McLean has struggled hitting from the right side. Even though the right side is his natural side. He started switch hitting about midway through high school. Takes it outside. So Davis once again working behind. But McLean against righties this year is hitting .338. 4 homers, 13 RBIs, a .964 OPS. Long pause. And now a strike, this time on the inner half. This game not only intriguing because of the setting, but because of where we are in the season and how the standings look. Now, 3-1 count to McLean. Wareham is in last place. You need to get into that 4th spot if you want to secure a playoff spot. Falmouth, for the first time since June 13th, is now in 3rd place after leapfrogging Bourne yesterday. Falmouth is 10 points ahead of Wareham. Bourne 9 points ahead of Wareham with only 12 to play. And now McLean works a walk. That's 5 walks on the evening for Davis.
The designated hitter from West Virginia, number 27, Grant Hussey.
Wareham losing to Brewster yesterday did not help the cause of them trying to get back into the playoff hunt. Losing 7-3, they tied the game in the top of the 7th, but Brewster responded with 3 in the bottom of the 7th off of just 1 hit to take the lead, and they never looked back. First pitch gets just by Heyman. Both runners now into scoring position. And now if you can get a knock into the outfield, McLean with good speed at second, you could take the lead. This is the first time all season that Wareham is now averaging under 5 runs a game. They scored 11 on opening day, and since then have been above that 5 runs a game mark. We're now just under it, averaging 4.9 runs per game. Fouled away. And part of that is because the team offensively this month here in July averaging just over 4 runs a game, hitting .227 as a team. Fastball upstairs, count even. Hussey has to protect the plate here. You got to, at least try to hit a grounder to get a run in to tie this ball game. Spinner, Hussey goes chasing for it. First base not occupied, so he'll run it down. But a big second out for Braden Davis and another punch out. That's 5.
And that's Hussey's 2nd strikeout. Now it'll be up to Rene
Catcher
Lastris.
from UNC Charlotte, number 7,
Davis
Rene Lastris.
Is through 2 2/3 innings. He's punched out 5. He's walked 5. Only 1 hit allowed. Here's Lastris. First pitch, scoots him off. The light's still off, still a lot of daylight here. Great sunset blooming down the left side, as you can see on the screen. Fouled back to the screen. Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike to Rene Lastris, who was 0 for 4 in his only matchup this year on July 11th against Falmouth. Rene's going to be in the home run derby on Saturday. Has only 1 homer on the season, but has a lot of power. He exhibits it every day during batting practice. Pitch misses low. Michael Brooks waiting on deck if Rene Lastris can extend this inning. Skip to the plate. Heyman somehow stops it. But now a 3-1 count. Renee looking forward to going to UNC Charlotte next year. Excited for the opportunity to play on a more consistent basis. And he'll take first base. Now 6 walks issued by Davis.
The third baseman from Kansas, number 5, Michael Brooks.
Can Michael Brooks come through in just his 4th game with the Gatemen? Michael just wrapped up his first year at Kansas. And he takes strike 1 inside. It's been quite the journey for Brooks. Started off at Arkansas, transferred to UCF after 1 semester, had to sit out a year, played 1 year for UCF, and find a home this spring in Lawrence. And he goes fishing for the breaking ball and is down 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brooks goes down swinging with the bases loaded, and the Gatemen leave him juiced here in the 3rd. What an interesting outing it's been for Braden Davis, who's punched out 6, and he's also walked 6. We go to the 4th, 2-1 Falmouth. 3 innings in the books from the Massachusetts Maritime Academy with your score. Falmouth 2, Wareham 1. It's been a good ball game so far. It's been an interesting one. The big dent in the scoreboard came from Luke Heyman, who blasted a 2-run shot to left center field. And Falmouth looking to add some more runs. They've got a good portion of the lineup set to do it with Travis Bazana, Cade Snell,
Oklahoma.
and Tyler McGregor.
Correction, the second baseman from Oregon State, number 7, Travis Bazana.
Bazana chopped out to the pitcher to end a 1-2-3 top of the 1st. Bazana, a consensus top 10, top 15 prospect from next year's MLB draft. First pitch to him, looper in there for strike 1. Another called strike. Eichhoff ahead of Bazana, the Australian, who also has potential to make history from that perspective as well. A lot of guys that come from Australia sign as international free agents, but Bazana decided at a young age that he wanted to take a different route, wanted to continue to develop, wanted to come to America to play in college. Has done so at Oregon State and has really improved. And now he takes a pitch outside. Bazana hit .374 this last year for Oregon State. First team all Pac-12. And he crushes one that clanks off of Splain, who flips to first, not in time, just a tad late.
Good job, guys.
Splain a little slow to get up. Bazana reaches.
The designated hitter from Wallace Community College, number 29, Cade Snell.
We'll see how that one is scored. But until then, Bazana on first. They'll rule it a hit. And Ryan Smythe is coming out with the trainer Sarah Warren to check on Tommy Splain. I think checking on Tommy Splain. Might be checking on Riley Eichhoff as well. Eichhoff was also involved in that weird play at first, and now he's pointing to the front of the mound. There's been kind of a little ditch in the front of the mound that both pitchers have dealt with. We saw Braden Davis have a few instances where he was spinning off the mound.
Yeah, there's like a divot there that I think they've tried to clean up a little bit.
Bazana's on first after the hard single. Here's Cade Snell. Snell started his career at Auburn. He's headed to Alabama this next year after playing at Wallace Dothan Community College, and takes it inside. The reason he is heading to Alabama next year is because of his season this past year. At 393, 13 homers. And now Eichhoff falls completely off the mound. And it looks like he's feeling it a little bit. So this mound has not been in good shape, and Eichhoff rolled his ankle, it looked like.
Ryan Smythe just pointed towards the bullpen. But yeah, they're looking for somebody, I think, from Mass Maritime to maybe come out and work on the field a little, because obviously Wareham's usual grounds crew, which is right in front of us in Gene Bowles, is not available today. I think they're looking for someone from the school to maybe come out and put a little extra dirt in there. Ryan Smythe is out there. I mean, this has become a safety hazard now for the pitchers.
Welcome back to the Massachusetts Maritime Academy at Commodore Hendy Field with Aiden Blank. Jack Hunter with you. They just had to rake the mound a little bit, get a level decline off of the mound. Riley Eichhoff turning his ankle a little bit. So it looks like we're all set and ready to go. Back in the box here, Cade Snell, who, like we mentioned, won JUCO Player of the Year nationally, the first Alabama guy to do it in its 23-year history. Eichhoff with the new mound, smiling again, working with a 2-1 count. Quick pick to first. Bazana back in there safely. He's been hopping around left and right. It's kind of the new era of base running. Try to kind of jump into your steals if you can. Another check. Snell 2 for 4, 2 RBIs the last time these teams met. Pops one up. Shallow center field. Coming in is Bozer. He's got it for the first out. Moving the line now to Tyler McGregor.
Number 33, Tyler McGregor.
McGregor may be hurt by the fact that the rest of his teammates are playing so well. No team is going to, run the All-Star game. McGregor's had a great year, but not making the All-Star team as he takes strike one. There are 4 guys on Falmouth that are hitting over 300. Bazana, Keelan, Snell, and McGregor. McGregor the only one not to be going to the All-Star game. He's won a Cape League Player of the Week, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Eichhoff yanks it inside. Bazana drawing some attention over there from Eichhoff. Eichhoff made 10 appearances this year for Coastal, 6 of them starts. Popped up left side. Ranging over is Brooks. And he's got it. A great play by Michael Brooks to snag it with just some room down there for out number 2.
Well, like I had said earlier, you've got, you know, a group of fielders. Most of these guys have never played here before. Pretty much all of them have never played here before. And for a Wareham group that has been playing their home games at Spillane Field with a lot of expansive foul territory, this is new. Not nearly as much foul territory as there is at Spillane. So you're still trying to get used to that. A lot of communication with the dugout is going to be key.
Now here's Heyman, who's responsible for 2 runs here. Pitch out. Bizana staying put. With 2 outs, you figure he might try to get to second to try to give Heyman an opportunity to drive him in. It was Heyman's first homer of the season. Now he takes a high strike. Walker Yannick, the other catcher out of Sam Houston State. He's not catching his spring teammate today, Braden Davis. Yannick caught yesterday. Eichhoff set, 1-1 now. Bizana's going, swing and a miss. Lasters just throw down to second. It gets by Caulfield's glove. And bleeds into center. It's a stolen base for Travis Bizana, stolen base number 9 in 11 attempts for him. He was able to get out to that dashing jump.
Got a good look of the shot out there. I don't know what that is out in center field, but some folks have perched some chairs on it and are watching the game. Good view.
Here's the 1-2. Cut and a miss. A beauty of a slider from Riley Eichhoff, who works around a frustrating top of the 4th. Gives up no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom. It's 2-1 Falmouth here on the Gateman Baseball Network. Back here at Mass Maritime. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Falmouth holding a 2-1 lead. Corey Morton, J.C. Cologne, and Bobby Bozer set to get things going for the Gatemen after they left. The bases loaded in the bottom of the 3rd. Davis's first offering, cut and a miss. Braden Davis has had an interesting outing. 6 punch-outs, 6 walks through now 3+ innings of work. Morton, one of those guys that walked, takes a ball low.
Yeah, both starters have gone long, or at least long for Cape standards.
And Morton also following in that path this season. He's appeared at the plate 5 times, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, has not put a ball in play. So let's see if the narrative can change here. A little late, fouls it away.
What's been interesting, we've talked about this great stretch of starting pitching
keep that foul
for
ball,
Wareham.
courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington and his daughter Tevis.
And we haven't really talked about it, but in that stretch, the opposing pitching's been, you know, just as good most days.
The changeup has Morton ahead, but he's able to foul it and stay alive.
You know, yesterday, even today with Davis, the opposing pitching has just been equally as good, if not better.
And Morton drives one deep to right center field. Spikerman going back. He snags it on the run. There's not much you can get past John Spikerman. The speedster collects it for the first out.
Yeah, he tracked that thing down. If he didn't, Tracy would have.
You can tell
The
Tracy
shortstop from Mizzou, number
has got
32,
some natural center field
J.C.
abilities in him,
Cologne.
because Tracy's been very aggressive coming in from right field trying to snag things. Here's Cologne, who walked also in his plate appearance in the 2nd. Shows bunt, goes around and can't put it down. Great backdrop here. The ocean at the back of your shot. Almost hits him. Cologne able to scamper out of the way of it. J.C. Cologne hitting 190 on the year, 8 for 42. Ahead of the changeup, fouled back to the screen.
He's got juice. You know it's swing and miss, but he's got juice. Yeah, I know.
Fouled away. So Davis has that stuff that you see from high leverage relievers. And like we mentioned, he's made 33 career appearances out of the bullpen for Sam Houston State over 2 years, but pushing into a starter role here this summer. Softly hit ground ball to short. Keelan to first, beats the throw, or Colon doesn't beat the throw. It's the second out. Back to the top we go.
Fielder from South Florida, number 6, Bobby Bozer.
So Eichhoff has had 2 1-2-3 innings out of his 4 frames. 0 for Davis. This is the 3rd time through the order, starting now for him here in the bottom of the 4th. It's been a laborious outing, but a clean one.
All these bleachers filled up. Good crowd, really, really good showing. I don't think anybody really knew what to expect in any capacity, broadcast-wise, crowd-wise here, but it's all turned out very well. And thanks for the folks at Mass Maritime for having us.
A cut and a miss. Bobby walked and scored in the first, struck out in the second. Will be playing in the All-Star game on Saturday. Talked to him a little bit before the game. He said he didn't really know when he's going to get in as he swings and misses, but he's just looking forward to the experience. Good 1-2-3 inning from Braden Davis, his first one of the evening. Now we go to the top of the 5th with Falmouth up 2-1 here from Mass Maritime. Along to the 5th. We're about an hour and 15 minutes into this game. It's got a good flow to it despite a lot of walks on the Falmouth side. In the 5th inning, due up for the Commodores, Nathan Humphreys, Kevin Brady, and Tab Tracy. It's the bottom of the Falmouth order. Good to have you with us here on the Gateman Baseball Network alongside Aiden Blank, our producer Rachel Manning, Jack Hunter with you. It's game 33 of the season for the Gateman, game 34 for the Falmouth Commodores. The discrepancy coming from an earlier rainout in the week against Bourne that will be made up next Monday at Doran Park. It'll be a doubleheader for us as we go just across the bridge. Not too far from Doran Park here. This actually used to be the home of the Bourne Braves when they were first starting out from 1988 to 1995. First pitch curveball in there to Humphreys, first, strike 1.
And in fact, if you go up into the press box, we're not in the press box tonight, we're just below it. If you go into the press box, there are Bourne Braves signs. There's even a Bourne Braves mug from 1998.
Humphreys takes it outside. Humphreys is an impressive player, Conference Defensive Player of the Year in 2023 for the Conference USA. Had 2 homers in their Stillwater Regional this year. Eichhoff gets him ahead with the changeup. He's only hitting .206 here at the Cape, but had one of his better games on July 1st. That game we've talked about a little bit, which kind of turned around Falmouth's season a little bit. Haven't looked back since then. Fisted to right field, coming on and letting it take a few bounces in front of him is Bozer. A leadoff single for Humphreys.
The third baseman from Merrimack, number 9, Kevin Brady.
Here's Kevin Brady. Brady's still looking for his first hit in a Falmouth uniform. He's now 0 for 4 across 2 games. He's getting a good look here of Division I competition before making the D3 to D1 jump next year. Shows bunt. It's a hard one. He gets it down, though. Eichhoff spins, throws to second. A great play by Eichhoff, who has shown a great ability to field his position off the mound now for out number 1.
And as you said, it's much more difficult to bunt here because the ball continues to move. It's turf.
Number 11, Tab Tracy.
But he got off the mound and a great little PFP.
Tracy turned 20 years old just before the Cape season began. Spent his freshman year at Houston, last year at A&M. The lefty standing in with 1 out now in the inning. Brady checked on at first.
Wareham has one more specialty game, if you want to call it that. July 31st will be at Polar Park in Worcester, Massachusetts, a week from Monday.
Ground ball, diving stop by Splain at first. Gets the lead runner at second. Gatemen are flashing the leather here tonight at Hindy Field. 2 straight fielder's choices. This one goes 3-6.
The center fielder from Oklahoma, number 17, John Spikerman.
Back to the top to John Spikerman. Spikerman homered from the right side the last time these teams met. He couldn't hit from the right side his freshman year at Oklahoma because of an injury he suffered at the end of his high school career. Switch hit this year in his sophomore year.
I think one of the cooler things, too, about these 2 specialty games that are, you know, home games for Wareham but not at Wareham are they've done it against 2 divisional opponents. Falmouth and Bourne, 2 of the closest opponents to Wareham. So, you know, means a little bit more. Good old, you know, a little bit of a rivalry.
A spinner nips the outside corner.
You know, the big thing coming into tonight, in addition to that they're playing at Mass Maritime, is they need a win. They got to win these last 2 against Falmouth. They got to try and win 3 against Bourne. That's the best way for them to get back into playoff contention.
Eichhoff ahead of the leadoff hitter Spikerman, who's over 2. Eichhoff takes a little bit to get his sign. He's got it now. And fires low for ball 1.
Jack, we going in on a 50-50 ticket tonight?
I don't think tonight's our night.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know the last time we did 50-50.
Well, we got a free one in Harwich. Remember that? We didn't win it. We didn't win whatever it was they were giving away.
Eichhoff misses upstairs. Count now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Falmouth scoring 2 runs in the top of the 2nd thanks to a Luke Heyman home run after the Gatemen took a temporary lead in the bottom of the 1st. The Commodores with 3 hits. Pick to first. Tracy back in there safely.
I might have bought one for Maiden Major. If he has nicely, I might have bought one.
You pitch well, we buy 50-50 tickets.
Exactly.
From you? Is that how it works?
That's the deal. You go 5 scoreless. We'll buy 50-50 from you.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Eichhoff is through 5 well-done innings, only allowing 1 home run. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th now, it's still a 1-run lead for the Falmouth Commodores as the train players out to right.
It's no secret that the Gatemen offense has been struggling the last few days, and after last night's game, I was talking to Ryan Smythe. He said his team just needs to find a different way to get some runs across the plate and get some guys on base. Now, we've seen that today. The team already has 6 walks. They've been able to stay patient at the plate, and that's a really big thing for this team. Now, there's still a lot of time left to go. The score is still pretty tight, so we'll see if the team can get it together now. Guys.
Thanks, Amanda. And to turn things over here in the bottom of the 5th, here's Aiden Blank. Aiden?
Yeah, Wareham will face a new pitcher as we enter the bottom of the 5th.
University of California, Los Angeles, number 18, Cody Delvecchio.
It's Cody Delvecchio out of UCLA. And Jack, he will come in for the 5th. Another night where the opposing starter does kind of get rooked out of a win because Davis was terrific. He only goes 4 innings, so he cannot win the game. Delvecchio now comes in trying to reap the benefits and maybe start a good streak of his own.
Well, to be fair, he was not able to get deep in this start because his command was off all night. He walked 6 batters, including 3 in 1 inning. So your manager can only trust you so much. You can only go so deep into the game under these circumstances.
From Arizona, number 20,
well,
Garen
the first
Caulfield.
batter that Delvecchio will face is the second baseman, Garen Caulfield. He has been the only one in either lineup to not be retired tonight. First pitch to him, just low. 1 ball and no strikes. We are at Mass Maritime Academy, just off the water in the shadow of the Bourne Bridge. Rocket Swan up the middle, and Caulfield is 3 times on base. He'll now be 2 for 2 with a leadoff single.
Yeah, and wanted to get you this defensive substitution as well. Walter Yannick is in the game at 3rd base.
The first baseman from
subbing
Arizona,
in
number
for
28, Tommy
Kevin
Swain.
Brady.
Interesting move there.
So Walker Yannick in at third, who caught yesterday.
Yannick goes to third, and Splain comes to the plate. Tommy takes outside, ball one. 2 flyouts, both to right field. Nick McLean waiting on deck. They move him down a little bit in the lineup, hitting fourth. And there goes our crowd mic. It's still there?
I think we still got levels.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. 2 days into it. That didn't sound great. We'll send Tommy the bill, I guess. Splain in a 1-1 count. Right side, racing over Bazana, fields it, and throws to first. Splain's been put away twice, 3 times, and moves his Wildcat teammate Caulfield up.
Well, a productive out from Splain. That's what he's done today. He moved a runner over
The right fielder
in
from
the first,
Arizona State,
and then here
number 15,
in the fifth.
Nick McLean.
He hit it hard to the right side, but you can just see Bazana's defensive prowess, his lateral quickness, his athleticism to scoot over to that ball and get an out.
Here's McLean, a walk and a fly out. Is that a train or a boat we hear in the background? Either way, McLean cuts and misses.
That sounds like a train.
It does, doesn't it? There are some railroad tracks around here. That's close. That's a long horn. 0-1, McLean back into the box. Switch hitter, batting left. The Sun Devil fouls it into the netting or fencing behind home plate. As we mentioned, Mass Maritime had a complete redo a few years ago. They put in some brand new turf. As far as we know, this is the first time that the new field has been used for a game in the Cape League. 0-2, runners, 1 runner perched on second base. That's Caulfield. McLean trying to bring him in. Hits one in the air, deep left field. Racing back, Humphreys at the fence and makes the grab over his shoulder. Oh, they nearly had a chance. If he had thrown directly into second, he might have had a chance to double up Caulfield, who was racing back. But McLean gets put away with an F7.
You know left field is a little short, but you don't know how short, so whenever a
The
ball
designated
is well
hitter
struck
from
out
West
there,
Virginia,
you start to
number
think maybe that could get out,
27,
but you've
Brent
got a
Bussey.
Conference Defensive Player of the Year in Humphreys out there who was, you know, also lauded as a guy that was on the first team all-defensive team in the last year in the Missouri Valley Conference as well. So he's not going to let too many of those drop if it stays in the park.
Grant Hussey, 2 strikeouts on his night. Stepping into the box, lefty hitter. Bounces one foul, rolling to the fencing that protects those who have chosen to sit all the way down the right field line. We can assume those are Commodore fans. Folks peppered all throughout the ballpark, including behind us. Now I feel bad. We might be blocking their view. Our home plate umpire, Joe Gravino, he's wiping off home plate. I don't know why.
He's giving Hussey a little time to collect himself.
Interesting move, wiping off home plate on a turf field. I can't say I've ever seen that before. But I guess you're going through the motions at that point. Hussey back in. Takes a high strike. 0-2.
Go, Huss.
The Huss bus looking to get on base for the first time with Garen Caulfield perched on second. Set at an 0-2. Swing and a miss. Ball that goes into the turf. And Hussey goes down for the 3rd time tonight. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Let's go to the 6th. Wareham in trailing 2-1 on the Gateman Baseball Network. It would be a shame if he were to take a loss after a performance like this. First pitch he throws, high ball 1. So this is back-to-back outings in which Eichhoff has gone into the 6th inning. Remember, before he started on Friday, last Friday, no Gateman starter had gone to the 6th. Rolled left side, scooped up by Brooks. Throw over to first base. Squeezed by Splain. First out.
That was Walter Yannick in there to hit for Falmouth. So he's taken the spot of Keelan, which mostly means Brady moved to shortstop.
The second baseman from Oregon State, number 7,
Now
Travis
here's
Bazana.
Travis Bazana. OSU Beaver facing a Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. 1 of 2 on the roster. First offering, breaking ball, just low, 1-0. Wareham back at Spillane Field tomorrow, another home game. They'll face the Cotuit Kettleers. They are 1-0 against Cotuit at home. They finished 0-3 against Cotuit at Lowell Park. 1-0, swing and a miss. High heat, 1-1. No TrackMan data tonight because they couldn't get the box over here, so we apologize for that. We usually will have it. We'll have it back tomorrow. Even count. 1-1 incoming. A high strike, 1-2.
And the reason Eichhoff's in this game right now and Braden Davis is not is because Eichhoff has been able to work quickly and efficiently, and that's what he does. That's the name of his game.
Reddies. Looking for a punch out on the 1-2. Can't get it. High and tight, 2-2. Lights have come on here at Commodore Field. We talked about it. There is a giant windmill that overlooks left field. They've turned it off for the game, but it goes normally. Popped in the air, center field. Charging back Bozer. Just in front of the fence. Makes the grab. It's 1 out, 2 out.
It's pretty interesting the power that Bazana has. I mean, if you just close your eyes
hitter from
and heard that swing and heard his reaction to it, he was just groaning immediately. It would have sounded like he popped one up on the infield. Instead, he muscled one out pretty deep into the outfield. So even his misses, even his bad swings are still pretty solid.
Batter is now Cade Snell, designated hitter. Singled, scored a run in the second. First pitch. Strike 1, 0-1. 2 down in the inning. Sets himself up. Reddies. Takes a pitch outside, level count. The light shining down, giving way to a perfect Cape Cod night. Eichhoff, Reddies, fires a 1-1. Left field off the end of the bat, charging in Morton, and makes the grab coming on in. 1, 2, 3, go the Commodores. 5.5 in the books. Let's go to the last of the 6th on the Gateman Baseball Network. Renee just transferring to UNC Charlotte. After a couple of years at Florida, 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. It was marred by injury. He had Tommy John his first season there. And since then, he's had a powerful arm. He can throw about 90 to try and get a runner stealing. His problem has been throwing to the wrong side of second base. The 1-2. Chops it. Right side. Bazana. Fields. Fires. And a quick first out. Bazana's one of the guys that does play on a turf field during the spring. He plays at Oregon State.
The third baseman from Kansas, number 5, Michael Brooks.
Yeah, and Bazana, once again, we talked about this in an inning prior, is just very athletic. He's so laterally quick that he just kind of covers so much ground over there at second, can shade up the middle and then get a ball in the hole like that.
First pitch, Brooks fouls it off the plate, 0-1. We're starting to get a little sun now. It was hidden behind the clouds. So you can kind of see it's starting to poke its way out here. 0-1, inside, spins out of control, 1-1. What do they call it? Golden hour, right? Rachel knows. We'll have to get Maddie to come take a picture between innings. Left side, fielded by Yannick, steps into a throw. A couple of strikes delivered over to McGregor at first. So now it's Corey Morton, left fielder out of UConn, the last
left fielder from the University of Connecticut, number 53,
try and get
Corey
Riley
Morton.
Eichhoff at least out of the loss, assuming that he doesn't come out for the 7th, which would be pretty impressive if he went 7. I would be shocked if he's still in this game next inning. First pitch, high, ball 1. Not because he's not pitching well, but because the Cape League. Just doesn't happen. Folks having camp behind us, you can kind of see over all the way to the left of the screen, that's the football goalpost. Mass Maritime's athletic complex, the soccer and football, and I'm sure that's a multi-purpose field, is right behind us. Check swing, appeal to first. He did not go, and the count's 3 balls and no strikes.
Morton is a guy that I'm excited about. He's obviously got a little bit of a learning curve here after spending some time off.
Takes a strike down the middle, 3-1 the count. A hitter's count for Corey.
But a guy that's got a lot of fast twitch in his game, a lot of power, a lot of speed.
3-1. A high strike and the count goes full. Wareham trailing 2-1. Riley Eichhoff, as of now, is in line for a loss despite a gem. He's only allowed 4 hits today. He has not walked a single batter. Rolled, low to the ground left side. Keelan picks it up, over to first. A high throw for McGregor. 6-3 the putout. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Brady puts him out for out number 3. We'll go to the 7th. Wareham trailing 2-1 on the Gateman Baseball Network. Welcome back to Commodore Hendy Field. We have a scoreboard update as Jake Faherty comes in out of the bullpen. Harwich 10 and Katuitt 2. That was the game that was started at White House Field at 4:45. They still don't have power. We can only hope they get it before the All-Star game on Saturday. Everything else active. Bottom of the 5th, Doran Park. It's 5-2 Bourne. So 2 games in Bourne tonight as Jake Faherty looks for the sign. First batter, Tyler McGregor. First baseman to face him. Ball low and out, 1-0.
Faherty looking to rebound after a really tough performance the other day at Chatham. 1 inning, 5 earned runs, no hits, 5 walks, 0 strikeouts.
And if you remember, he didn't take the loss there, but fouled away. It was a rough outing for him.
He actually did technically take the loss because Wareham had tied the game, or still had the lead at that point. They had the lead.
1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. So, Jack, question here, because we just got to Bourne on the scoreboard. Do you think this is the first time 2 Cape League games have ever been played in the same town at the same time?
No, well, Harwich, or Brewster used to play in Harwich, so.
Oh, that's true. But it's still been quite some time. 1-2. Low 2-2. But the Braves lead the Whitecaps 5-2. Hyannis in front of Orleans 6-2. Chatham and Whitey scoreless top of the 3rd. McGregor, Heyman, Humphreys. All 3 in this inning for the Commodores. The 2-2. Fouled into the screen. Count holds. This is the final home game that Wareham has against Falmouth. They will play again next week at the home of the Commodores. Our last trip to Gov Fuller Field. We were there on opening day. We'll be there the last week of the regular season. Level count, 2-2. Bazana's 0-2. I beg your pardon, McGregor's 0-2. And the pitch sells high and out, 3-2. Faherty struggled to throw strikes in his last outing at Chatham. Desperately needs to do that right now. This is still a winnable game. It's still 2-1, but oh man, they cannot afford to dig themselves any deeper into a hole. Faherty sets, fires, high ball for, and it pops out of the glove of Lastris.
Well, not a good start for Jake Faherty in his last outing versus Chatham. As we mentioned, he threw 35 pitches. Only 12 of them were for strikes, so you just got to try to turn it around here.
Right off the bat, Ryan Smythe has gone out to talk mechanics with Jake Faherty, try and nip this in the bud. Not a terrible decision, considering last time it kind of spiraled out of control as the inning progressed. He's only got 1 runner on. He's been good the last bunch of outings, but you got to calm him down a little. Set him up right.
Catcher from Florida, number 15, Luke Heyman.
Luke Heyman out of Florida will stand in. And the reason that Smythe is going out there is because Luke Heyman hit a home run in the 2nd inning, and that was a missile. Heyman toes the box. Righty swinger. Gets ready. Faherty fully sets. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike one. And that's the kind of stuff that Faherty has thrown when he's been successful this season.
Yeah,
that high heat.
We don't need a radar gun to tell you that was pretty fast.
Another set. 0-1, the pitch. Strike two. Quick snap throw to first. McGregor slides in safely. It's kind of been his put-away pitch a lot. High in the zone, high 90s. A lot of swing and miss there. Faherty setting again. Heyman at the plate. Delivers. Just off the plate, 1-2.
Faherty mostly a three-pitch guy. He's got a fastball in the mid to upper 90s. He's got a cutter in the high 80s. And some people say tight slider. Some people say it's a cutter. And then he's got a more true sweeping slider that's in the low 80s as well.
Another set, the 1-2. Bounced foul.
Good catch by Brett Wozniak over there in the dugout.
He's moved. He was in the bullpen earlier. Lights are on here at Commodore Hendy Field, though we're still playing with a little bit of natural light. Golden hour in full swing. Faherty rocks and deals. Swing and a miss. Big time strikeout from the Razorback. Brings up Nathan Humphreys. Left fielder who singled in his last at bat, struck out in his first.
Left fielder from Dallas Baptist, number 14, Nathan Humphreys.
Out of DBU. Dallas Baptist had an interesting little run in the Stillwater Regional this season. Humphreys hitting .206 here in Cape Lee. Pops it foul. Doesn't hit the windmill, though. I told you, my one hope for this game is that a ball hits the windmill and comes back and someone tries to make a play on it.
I'd say that seems to be more like a wind turbine than a windmill. When I think of windmill,
Oh, you're
I
right.
think
You're
of
right.
all the,
Yep.
the kind of
Two
the
different
bigger
things. 0-1. High 1-1. Again, a good crowd. They've stuck around for the most part. 7:46 on the East Coast. This game an hour 46 minutes old. 1-1. Faherty setting. Delivering to Humphreys. Who cracks one down the left field line, trailing foul 1-2.
He's going to need a new piece of lumber after that. Broke his bat.
You could kind of hear that, too. He retrieves a brand new bat, and the Midlothian, Texas native climbs back in. 19 games for Humphreys this summer, 68 at bats. Batting .206 with 12 RBIs, hit his second home run. A couple games ago, the 18th against Chatham, fouled away. Yesterday against Harwich, one hit, it was a double. Brought in two, and did strike out once. Has a strikeout tonight. Faherty sets, looking for another put-away pitch. The 1-2, pops it behind us again. Not the usual stampede of kids to go retrieve balls, though there is a lot of space to do it back there. Faherty still looking for the punch-out. Peers in for the sign. Look at McGregor on first. Now a lift, a lower, and a fire is grounded weakly to third. Colon firing. Got him at first. Great put away by J.C. Colon. Two straight retired from Faherty, both coming after Smythe came out and talked to him. So whatever advice was given on the mound, whatever
Shortstop from Merrimack, number
mechanically
9,
he was
Kevin
reset
Brady.
with, has worked.
Yeah, and that was a great play by JC at short. Charged the ball and whipped it to first, all in one clean motion, which is encouraging to see.
The batter now is Kevin Brady. Strikeout and a fielder's choice. Chopped. Faherty lobs it to first in time. Splain making sure he had his foot on the base. Faherty retires 3 straight. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. 7th inning stretch time at Commodore Hendy Field. Back in a moment.
It's the middle of the
2-1
7th,
Falmouth.
which means it's the 7th inning stretch. Get on up and sing along to Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Yeah, no, there's a little.
Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back.
And it's root for the gatemen. If they don't win, it's a freaking shame, Braden. Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Faherty enters this ball game, and J.C. Cologne enters the batter's box. First pitch, a low strike. It's 0-1. Del Vecchio in his 2nd inning of work. Cologne fouls it to the backstop. Another one with that crowd mic just hanging by a thread. Look at that ball. Did you see that? It got pinned in the netting or in the fence. That's like a wedgie in basketball. Cologne reaches and singles out to right field. Good piece of hitting from JC. Hustles down to first with a leadoff single.
As we've made aware, the Gatemen have struggled tremendously this month
The center
offensively,
fielder from
and
South
especially
Florida,
late
number
in
6,
games too,
Bobby
against opposing
Boozer.
teams' bullpens. And Del Vecchio has been very solid today, threw down 2+ innings, but J.C. Cologne at first, let's see if he can put some pressure in. And Bobby Boozer, who is now 0 for 19 in 5 games against Falmouth, the All-Star, is due against this club.
Bobby Boozer, the batter, takes side ball 1. Center fielder walked in his first at bat, since then has struck out twice. That was Wareham's first hit since Garen Caulfield in the 5th. 6 in a row were retired, high and tight, 2-0. It's only their 3rd hit of this ball game. Caulfield in the 5th, and then Caulfield again in the 1st. So Garen's responsible for 2 of the 3 hits. Outside, 3-0.
And Bobby, even when he's gone on patches of struggle at the plate this year, has still kept a great eye at the plate. And that's the reason he's an all-star, because he's patient, he takes good pitches, and he lays off when he needs to be.
Fires outside, and Boozer works a walk. Bobby base on balls. 2 walks tonight, extending his season high. Big reason why he's an all-star. Garen Caulfield also an all-star. He's been on 3 times, 1 walk and 2 singles. And they're no doubt talking right now, Heyman and Del Vecchio, about how to approach Garen right now, because no one's been able to get him out.
Yeah, and the Gatemen have done a good job at getting guys on ahead of their middle of the lineup bats. They just haven't been able to string much together outside of that. In the middle of the order, guys haven't really been able to drive in the guys in front of them.
First pitch to him, bunts it, but foul.
And I like this move right here. Garen's the guy that handles the bat well. You've got Splain, the hottest hitter on your team, due up next, and then McLean to follow. If you can get runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out with those 2 coming up, you got to feel confident in at least tying the game.
0-1. This set, Del Vecchio delivers. Another bunt. This one popped up. He cleared the fencing behind home plate. 0-2.
You may keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington and his daughter Tevis.
Oh and 2. Garen back into the box. The fire. Popped up. Right side. Foul.
So Guerin is not going to be able to push those runners over to second and third via the bunt now in a 2-strike count, but he can still have a productive at-bat. Still try to find something, hit it on the ground right side, or just try to see the ball deep and move those runners over, or maybe even drive them in here.
The 0-2 coming. Delvecchio, a look at second. Now brings it home. Slides off the plate, 1-2. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Runners on first and second base. Wareham 1 run on 2 hits. They've left 7 runners on base, 6 of them in the first 3 innings. 1-2. Rockets one, left center field. Racing back Humphreys, racing back Spikerman. Humphreys will make the catch. There is a tag. Throw coming into third is cut off. Excellent tag. J.C. Cologne gets him up to third base, now 90 feet away from scoring. There was a double tag because you had Bozer go to second.
From Arizona, number 28, Tommy Splain.
Caulfield with about as productive an out as you can get, and now Tommy Splain looking to extend his 7-game hitting streak. Maybe the last chance he'll have to do it right now with runners on second and third. And it couldn't have come at a better time. His team is trailing by a run. A base hit can give him the lead.
Tommy's done a great job at hitting the ball to the right side, going the other way, and he's got a big gap to do that here with Bazana shading towards up the middle.
First pitch, Splain, left side, right side. It's going to get through for a base hit. They're going to hold Bozer. He is the go-ahead run. The tying run, Cologne will score. Splain now has hit in 8 straight games. Oh, Tommy, terrific. Tie ball game at 2.
And on cue,
now batting, the right fielder
Tommy
from
corks
Arizona
one right side.
State. Number 15,
for the base hit.
McLean.
And he's just seeing the ball extremely well right now and seeing it deep, too. He's not pulling off of the ball. He's really putting together a complete swing, staying back, keeping his head down, and he looks very loose at the plate as well. And it's been great to see the development of Tommy Splain. And you got to hope if you're an Arizona fan, it can continue into the fall.
Nick McLean also looking for his first hit. Pops it behind the plate. Heyman thinks he has it. It's going to go in back of us. And chased down by a couple of kids. 0-1 the count. Dorian Gonzalez waits on deck. He'll sub in the DH role for Hussey, who's been rather cold tonight, 3 strikeouts. McLean, the switch hitter, batting left. Reddies takes it in the dirt. 1-1.
And it's Nick's first time batting from the left side tonight, no second time. And he's been very effective from the left side this year, as we mentioned.
1-1. Outside, 2-1. The All-Star takes a deep breath. Splain on first. Bozer the go-ahead run on third base. Wareham has not led in this ballgame since 1-0. High and out, 3-1. They scored in the bottom of the first, and a half an inning later, gave up a 2-run home run. The only 2 runs for Falmouth that, until now, had given them enough to lead. Hitters count for McLean. Up the middle, past the pitcher's mound. There's one, there's the double play. Falmouth escapes, but Wareham ties it up with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left.
Beaver Dam Partners
8th
based in
inning next
Wareham
on the Gateman
publishes
Baseball
Wareham
Network.
Week, Sipicam Week.
To the 8th inning we
The
go,
right fielder
and
from
Wareham
Texas
once again
A&M,
goes to the
number
bullpen.
11, Tab Tracy.
And this time it's going to be Jackson Reed out of Western Carolina. He's only appeared once through a third of an inning on July 17th against Chatham. Gave up a hit and faced 2 batters. Hopefully he can face a few more here. First pitch, dribbled foul off the bat of Tab Tracy. Right fielder, 9-hitter. Good guy to have as a 9-hitter. Those numbers certainly not the worst you've ever seen, not the worst in this league. He can put the bat on the ball quite a bit. And he faces Reed. 0-1. Reed delivers inside, 2-1.
Reed spent 3 years at Lenoir-Rhyne, most recently having his best year in 2023, pitching to a 4.33 ERA across 13 starts. Is going to be making his way over to Western Carolina next year, playing for the Catamounts in Cullowhee.
The 1-1. Pop foul into the backstop. Do it again.
And he's going to have a good opportunity to play next year. An older guy, big fastball, a lot of size. Western Carolina, like a lot of teams in the Southern Conference, struggled a lot pitching the ball this year. So he'll get an opportunity.
Moving up to D1. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Oh, swing and a miss. Dirty pitch from Jackson Reed. His first full inning as a gateman if he can get through it, and that's a great start.
Yeah, you got a big fastball. You're 6'7".
The center fielder from Oklahoma.
Coming across a
number
little
17,
intimidating.
Ackerman, center fielder from Oklahoma. First pitch to him. Lands in the zone for strike one. Spikerman, the leadoff hitter for this team, quite a bit this year. 0-1, incoming. 2 years ago, Oklahoma State made the championship series at the College World Series, lost to a Cinderella story in Ole Miss. Spikerman was on that Oklahoma team. Played in 35 games that year, made 30 starts. Low inside, 2-1. A top 500 prospect nationally coming out of high school. A big get for the Sooners. He'll be draft eligible by this time next year. I'm sure he would hope to be drafted by this time next year. Bounced foul, 2-2.
Spikerman showed this at Oklahoma and here at the Cape. You know, the bat has gone on and off, but even when he's been quiet with the bat, he's still been a very productive player because he's been able to run effectively. He plays a Gold Glove caliber center field and can create a lot of value in other ways, even when he can't necessarily do it with the stick.
The 2-2 coming. Laced left side. It went off of Cologne's glove. It got by Brooks, went off the glove of Cologne, and it is going to go down, should go down as a hit. A single for Spikerman, his first hit of the night. Brings up Gavin Keelan. The shortstop will bat with 1 on and 1 out.
The third baseman from Sam Houston State, number 26, Walter
He was subbed
Yannick.
out. Here's Walter Yannick. The third baseman out of Sam Houston State. Yannick fouls it away, 0-1.
You may keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington and his daughter Tevis.
Yannick subbed in for Keelan.
Yannick was second on the Bearcats club in homers this year, knocked 13 out of the park after 7 his freshman year, made a noticeable jump in power.
0-1 coming from Reed. Breaking ball strike, throw down is not in time. A very delayed call there from James Fonseca, the first base umpire.
It's a third base umpire.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Lum that made the
that
call.
was Lum. He waited. I don't know what he was looking at, but a stolen base from Spikerman. Now in scoring position as Falmouth tries to retake the lead here in the 8th. Haven't scored since the 2nd. Great pitcher's duel tonight. The 0-2. Rolled left side. Picked up by Brooks. Couple of claps. Throws it over. They call it a foul ball.
No, they didn't. Yannick just fell down in the box.
Are you? Wow.
Wait. Yeah, he's out. Yeah, he was stuck. Yeah, he just fell down at the plate.
A little miscommunication there. Yannick just fell down. Well, I think Wareham will take it because Spikerman did not advance. So now here's Travis Bazzana, the second baseman out of Oregon State. 1 hit today, a single in the 4th, so he's due. 1 for 3, not usually a line for him. The first pitch coming from Reed. Coming. Into the dirt. Blocked, but got away from Lastris, and up to third goes Spikerman. Bazzana with a ground out, a fly out, and a single to his name. Ready for a 1-0. Another one blocked by Lasters behind the dish.
And this might be a good situation that we're here at Hindy Field and not Spillane Field, because the backstop here, the backstop not very big at all. So if the ball gets away from Lastris, Spikerman's still got a lot of speed, but you might be in better shape than if you were at Spillane Field.
The 2-0 on its way. Chopped left side. Brooks waits on it. Fields fires in time. Michael Brooks gets the Gateman out of it with 2 big plays at third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. Let's go to the last of the 8th. Wareham in a 2-2 ball game. Dorian Gonzalez hits when we come back on the Gateman Baseball Network. Back at Commodore Hendy Fields at Mass Maritime with Jack Hunter. I'm Aiden Blank. Good to have you with us. Our sideline reporter, Amanda Foster. Our producer for the night, Rachel Manning. Our entire crew of the fine folks of Wareham Community Television putting all those pretty images on the screen. New pitcher for the Commodores as we enter the 8th inning in a 2-2 game. And Jack, it's Cassius Thomas out of Duke, making his 4th appearance of the season.
From Miami, number 17, Dorian
Hasn't gone very
Gonzalez.
long, doesn't need to in this situation, but will face a pinch-hitting Dorian Gonzalez to lead off.
Well, and I think the lead here with Cassius Thomas is control issues. 11 walks in 4 1/3 innings. That's not going to play here on the Cave.
Winds the first pitch. A low ball, 1-0. Go ahead.
Highly recruited guy out of high school from California, second right-handed reliever or right-handed pitcher in the state coming out of high school.
High and pops out of Heyman's glove, rolls right back to us. We can't get it though. It's just in front of us. 2-0. Thomas winds and delivers. Sails to the backstop, 3-0.
This is what we're talking about here. He's not had an outing yet this year where he's been able to control. His last outing, 2/3 of an inning, 1 earned run allowed, 3 walks.
Thomas fires. Inside, Gonzalez works a 4-pitch walk. So Dorian walks.
The catcher from
now,
UNC Charlotte,
here's
number
Rene
7,
Lastris.
Rene Lastris.
He is walked, struck out, and grounded out. Looking to draw his second free pass of the night. I would say at this point you got to be taking at least 1 strike with Thomas. Rene takes outside 1-0.
Thomas really a 2-pitch guy. He's got a fastball and a curveball. Mostly throws the fastball, but you saw the spinner there. It's a little tight. It's more of like kind of a power curve.
Just issued his 12th walk of the summer, 5 straight balls entering this game. The 1-0. High, make it 6 consecutive balls. No, now it's 5. My math was a pitch off. No, it's not. It was 6.
Go Sun Devils.
Rene takes outside. 7 consecutive balls. Thomas just cannot find the strike zone. Jeff Trundy watching anxiously in the dugout. 3-0. Runner on already. The pitch. And Rene swings and fouls it away to the right side, 3-1.
That's quite the green light to have there. And that probably would have been ball 4 too. Gotta have team at bats here. I know everybody wants to have the big hit, big homer in this situation, but you just gotta work good at bats for the sake of the team.
3-1. Thomas delivers. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. He is still not really thrown a strike. The only strike he threw is a foul ball that, as you just said, probably would have been ball 4. So first and second now for Michael Brooks.
From Kansas, number 5, Michael Brooks.
Brooks is 0 for 3. Would love to get on base here. And again, you got to be taking strikes. And the Falmouth dugout has seen enough There will be a meeting on the mound right now. The Commodores, well, they're just staying in this ball game at 2-2. Still haven't scored since the second inning.
Falmouth has been very fortunate to have a coaching staff in place for as long as they've had. We mentioned Jeff Trundy getting his 500th regular season win just a few weeks ago, or really last week. He's in his 25th year. This pitching coach out here, Mike Landry, in his 12th year. Brett Becker, their hitting coach, is in his 7th year.
2-2 game, first and second here in the 8th. Thomas just struggling to throw strikes. Meeting broken up. And in strolls Michael Brooks. Third baseman from Kansas with teammates on first and second. As you mentioned, you can't come up here looking for a big fly. With Thomas as errant as he has been with the throws, you got to be looking to take a few pitches he steps off. You got to make him throw some strikes.
You just got to get the runners over here too. I mean, that is priority number one, is getting Dorian to third base.
Delivers outside.
And obviously, if you walk, you can get him to third. Push Lastros to second.
Dorian Gonzalez on second, Rene Lastros on first, each of them drawing walks. The 1-0 to Brooks. Off the plate, 2-0. Cassius Thomas, the Duke Blue Devil, trying to work out of some control issues here. Last of the 8th inning, Wareham trying to win a game for the first time in quite a bit. Last win was Orleans at home. The 2-0 gets the call on the inner third. His first clean strike, gets 2-1. Corey Morton on deck. J.C. Cologne in the hole. At least Corey appears to be batting for himself. 2-1. Check to swing. They appeal to first. He did not go, and a hitter's count for Brooks at 3-1. However, Jack, on this 3-1 count, it pretty much might as well be 3-0.
Well, if you're Brooks, you got to be at the plate with, you know, a circle where you need the ball to be if you want to swing. This one has got to be in your wheelhouse.
Bell tie set. Thomas working from the stretch. Lifts and delivers. It's high ball 4. 3 consecutive walks for Cassius Thomas, and the go-ahead run moves to third base. Now Corey Morton,
the left fielder from the University of Connecticut, number 53, Corey Morton.
Work his way on base. There will be a time called, and it looks like Falmouth will go to the bullpen again. Thomas just unable to throw strikes, and it's worked them into a bases-loaded, nobody-out situation here. Wareham had the bases loaded in the third. They did not get a run. In that third inning, it was also 3 walks that put runners on. The difference is they loaded the bases with 2 out. Here, there's nobody out, and Falmouth goes to the bullpen again. Let's take a break. Wareham with their best chance to take the lead all night long. 2-2, bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Let's take a break on the Gateman Baseball Network. Bases loaded, nobody out. Late stages of this ball game from Commodore Hendy Field. With Jack Hunter, I'm Aiden Blank. Good to have you with us. Corey Morton stands in. The new pitcher, Ben King out of Georgia Tech. First pitch. Spinner high and in. In the spring, 6-2. Good Georgia Tech club in the ACC. 3.73 his ERA. Lifts in a 1-0. Checked his swing. Went around. It's 1-1. Dorian Gonzalez is at third. Rene Lastros is at second. Michael Brooks is at first. All of them working walks. Second time tonight that 3 batters have been walked in an inning and loaded the bases for the Gatemen. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Excellent sweeper. 1-2.
King mostly throwing those sliders right there. He's the guy that likes to pitch backwards. Almost 80% sliders.
Folks starting to stand up a little on the edge of their seats. 1-2 to see if King can put away Morton. Lifts, fires, low, 2-2. Corey Morton still looking for his first Gateman hit. Wouldn't this be a great time to do it? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morton with the bases loaded, nobody out. Swings and misses. Another great slider. And King is through at least 1 batter with the bases loaded, nobody out. Now 1 down for J.C. Cologne. Now Cologne singled in the 7th, scored the tying run.
Number 32, J.C. Cologne.
You got Bobby Bozer, Garen Caulfield, Tommy Splain, and Nick McLean all due up after this. You got to feel pretty confident that between Cologne and those 4 guys, someone's going to get a run in. Outside ball 1. Cologne out of Missouri hitting just 190. Looking to get a huge hit in what is a mammoth game with playoff implications. Takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. King misses twice.
Tough spot for King to be in here, a guy that's throwing a lot of sliders. Those pitches, you know, obviously they move a lot, so they can be hard to get in the strike zone. You've got nowhere to put JC. JC's got to be very patient here because, you know, a walk and you have to leave.
Folks at Mass Maritime on their feet. 2-0 to Cologne. Fouls it into the screen, 2-1. Another one that maybe you're a little too trigger happy with.
No, it was a good swing by JC as a slider up in the zone, kind of in his wheelhouse. He just fouled it back. But if you see that slider up, it gets a little flatter, and you want to try to put a good swing on it.
2-1, bases loaded. Cologne at the plate against King. Checked his swing. It's low and out. Hitters count now for the Missouri Tiger. Even more folks on their feet now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 8th. 3-1 the count. Cologne trying to get the Gatemen a run. Outside. Wareham takes the lead for the first time since the 1st inning. King walks in the go-ahead run as Gonzalez steps on home plate. And Bobby Bozer comes up with Wareham in front, 3-2.
Fielder from South Florida.
That was a great take
6,
by JC Cologne. And that's what we're talking about, a team plate appearance. JC a 3-1 count, you might think you'd get something middle, try to swing out of your shoes. JC did not try to do too much.
Bozer takes it in her 3rd strike, 0-1. J.C. Cologne on base for the 2nd consecutive time. Bozer at the dish, the league leader in walks. Rolls it foul to 0-2.
It's not Wareham, but it's a home game. It's okay to win this one big.
The righty Bozer with his folks looking on. Just a few feet away. Takes it outside, 1-2.
And that's honestly one of Bobby's greatest abilities, is laying off those sliders, laying off those breaking balls and counts. That's a great pitch by King, so Bozer able to take it is an incredible feat.
1-2. The pitch. Ropes it hard and foul down the left field line.
You may keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn
my vehicle
Hamilton
is parked over that way.
The good old Jackmobile might need a little repair after this. It's okay. I have my card too. We can help you out. Bozer back in the box. 1-2. Low, 2-2. And this is Bobby to a T, working into an 0-2 count, working right out of it to level things up.
They don't call him the walks king in the Cape Cod Baseball League for nothing. 26 and counting.
Trying to bring home Lastris, Brooks, and Cologne. Right side, trailing foul. It stayed in play, but no one was able to get it. The right fielder, Tracy, the closest. Once again, fights off, sticks around in the count. Bobby Baseball, last time Wareham won a game, he was the reason why. Hit a walk-off in the 9th inning against the Orleans Firebirds. Trying to get them their 11th, 12th win of the season. The 2-2. Called strike 3 on the inner third. In Wareham is going to get very clearly heard here. First pitch, up the middle, base hit left center field. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. Cologne halts at third. Guerin out at second, but the damage is done. 2 runs in, and the Gatemen were 3 outs from a major playoff victory.
Good job, guys.
Guerin Caulfield delivers, and it's 5-2 Wareham. Let's go to the 9th. They're 3 outs from a victory on the Gateman Baseball Network. The batter to lead off in the 9th inning is Cade Snell. Designated hitter, ball 1 low. Snell, McGregor, Heyman. All facing Reed. 1-0, Nubber down in right center field. That is a base hit. It will put the tying run on deck and bring up Tyler McGregor with 1 on and nobody out in the 9th inning.
It's a good job by Snell. That's the 2nd time he's done that today. Fastball in on his hands, and he's able to just punch it into right. Obviously a guy that's got a lot of power, but when you can take your singles like that, you just become so much better of a player.
Tyler McGregor 0 for 2 until he walked in the 7th. Would take a walk here. First pitch from Reed. Inside, sweeping 1-0. Falmouth probably in a state of shock right now. You're waiting for the big hit. Guerin Caulfield delivered it. He was thrown out at second, but it will go down as a single. So another hit to his day. 3 hits. Outside 2-0. Another one of those guys that has really come into their own this summer and finally gets a big moment. You cannot emphasize enough how big this win would be if Wareham could get it. Maybe give this team a little new life heading into the final week and a half of the season. The 2-0 is popped up behind us. Fouled. 2-1. McGregor wiggles the hips. He's now back in. 2-1, runner on first base in the top of the 9th. Reed stretches and deals. High 3-1. Wareham came into last inning tied at 2. Now they lead 5-2. Last few games, it's been the reverse. They've lost their leads or even lost a tie late in the game. But tonight, they take it and are trying to hold it now. 3-1. Popped in the air. Right field. Bozer, McLean. It's Bozer from center who makes the play. First out.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times tonight on both sides where right fielders, center fielders converging. Usually the center fielder is the one to take it, but
the catcher
here
from Florida, number 15,
we've seen some
Luke
resistance
Heyman.
to that.
Ryan Smythe has gone out to talk with Reed. He has not made a signal yet. Looks like he's going to keep Reed in the game. Reed has earned his chance here. He threw a great first inning. So far, he's gone an inning and a third, having given up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. The only blemish on his record last inning was a single. The only blemish on his record this inning has been a single. He's retired 4. He just needs 2 more to get a win. After Riley Eichhoff gave himself 6 tremendous innings. Jake Faherty had a great inning out of the bullpen. Reed trying to make it 2 to close things down. First pitch, low and outside of the catcher, Heyman. Now, Heyman had a big fly in the second. This is the second time that Smythe has come out before Heyman gets to the plate. They want to know, he wants his guys to know exactly what they're doing here. The 1-0. Pokes one down the right field line. McLean charging over, not going to get it. It's going to bounce in front of him, fair. Heyman a big turnaround first. It will not result in a double. He'll get a single, and over to third goes Cade Snell. Shuffles in on the base hit.
Now batting.
Runners on the corners, and here's the tying run, Nathan Humphreys.
Reed has just gotten unlucky this inning. That's 2 soft singles, just finding the right turf in the outfield. And here you got a guy in Humphreys. I still vividly remember July 1st. I mean, he hit a ball. It still might be in orbit. He's got a low stance, real down in his legs, can really drive the ball to right center field. You got to be careful with him.
One hit today. It was a single. First pitch. Pops it left side. Foul. They hit off the light tower. It's not the turbine, but we'll take it. 0-1, 1 out. Runners are on the corners. Wareham 5-2 lead. Trying to close it down, get a massive, massive divisional win. Humphreys stands in from his left side. Fouls one away again, 0-2. This one just above our heads. A warm summer night at the home of Mass Maritime. Bourne had many great moments here. Wareham trying to have their own. 0-2, 1 out. First and third. Here's the deal. Into the dirt, blocked by Lastris. Renee saves the run. And now Humphreys in a 1-2 count. That's Snell on third. Heyman on first. 1-2. The set, Reed delivers. Swing and a miss! Reed recovers and gets out number 2. Oh boy, what a big out on the mound from Jackson Reed.
Reed's best pitch is his fastball. You can crank it up there in the mid-90s, and he did exactly that there.
Well, the game is now in the hands of the shortstop, Kevin Brady. He started the game at third, was moved over. He's put the ball in play once. It was a ground ball into a fielder's choice. He also grounded out in the 7th, so put the ball in play twice. Takes strike 1, 0-1.
And how about Reed is a guy that started 13 games this year for Lenore Ryan, had been a bullpen arm, so he's used to it, but transitioning from a role this year where he started, was used to getting out of the game in the 6th, 7th inning. Now he's finishing games here this summer.
The 0-1, grounded, foul at third, and Falmouth down to their final strike. Reed going for a win tonight, though it would really feel like a save. The opportunity. Wareham was down 2-1 for a majority of this game. 1 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. Looking for the final strike here. Everybody on their feet. Reed deals. Outside, just misses, and Lastris picks it out of the turf. Brady toes the back of the box. Runners on the corners. Brady is the tying run at home plate. Reed fires. Checked his swing. He went around, and Wareham wins a massive West Division battle. The fireworks come late, and the Gatemen flip the script. The bullpen holds the line. Wareham wins their 12th matchup of the season, a 5-2 winner over Falmouth. And boy, Jack, did they need this one. There is still a little bit of hope for the Gatemen playoff chances.
Massachusetts Maritime Academy, and thank you to Massachusetts Maritime Academy.
Big smiles on the mound here at Mass Maritime.
Tomorrow night as they host the Cotuit Cavaliers.
Yeah, and you beat a team that's ahead of you in third place. It looks like Bourne is going to hold on So at the end here, you're looking at Falmouth sticking at 34, Wareham going up to 26. And so now 8 points back, 4 games back of that last playoff spot with 11 games to go. This game tonight was a must-win game. And it looks like our sideline reporter, Amanda Foster, has got Garen Caulfield standing by right now. Amanda, take it away. It's all yours.
Guys, I'm joined with our Gateman Baseball Network player of the game, Garen Caulfield. Garen, congratulations.
Thank you.
You tonight had 3 hits, reached base 4 times. What was working for you?
I just tried to get back to seeing pitches really well. I feel like I got away from that in the last couple games, and I tried to refocus in with that, and paid off a little bit.
When you come up to the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning, you're already up 1 run thanks to the walk. You put 2 runs up on the board. What are you thinking when you get to the plate? What's your goal?
I knew he was kind of a little bit all over the place that inning, their whole team, and I knew if I was going to swing at one, it had to be right there. So it happened to be on the first pitch, and I was ready to pull the trigger. So,
how much does a win mean for this team right now?
I mean, every win means a lot, but this one means a lot because we've been kind of scuffling a little bit, so it's good to get back in the win column.
Well, and kind of a combination road and home win, because technically you were the home team, but you are kind of at a road environment. Does that add anything to the win?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, we're not trying to think about it too much, but we'll definitely we'll try to roll with the momentum into tomorrow.
Thank you. Congratulations. Guys, back to you.
Garen Caulfield with the biggest hit of the night. Opened things up. As it turned out, they only needed 1 run, but what a big hit that was. 5-2. It'll go down as a single. Those are your numbers. And that is the story of the next Cape Cod Baseball League game at Mass Maritime. What a fun environment this was, Jack. And, well, now a big task coming tomorrow. But if you're Wareham, you got to look at the way Cotuit's been playing. They're coming in tomorrow having lost 3 of 4. The one was not a win. It was a tie. They lost 10-2 tonight. You might feel pretty good about being able to knock off who at one point was the hottest team in the league.
Well, and at this point, it could be a little freeing, too, knowing that it doesn't really matter who you play. The expectations don't change. At this time of the year, like we mentioned, you're 4 games back with 11 games to play. You can't be, circling certain games on the calendar. Oh, we can take that one. We might lose it. You just got to try to run the table the best you can. And this win tonight against a really good, really well-played, Falmouth team that's been playing hot baseball as of late, this could stir something a little bit. At least that's what you hope.
Wareham, 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Falmouth, 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors. How about an errorless ball game? That's what the turf will do. For our entire Gateman Baseball Network crew, Aiden Blank saying so long. The Gatemen win it 5-2.